I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
So when you talk to like other white folks about whiteness, are they like, how do they react?
Sure. Well, let me tell you something. There's two different versions of that group.
Okay.
I get hired by people mostly to talk to white people, right? People of color don't need so much the insights I bring. Maybe the history is helpful for sure, but in terms of what the history means today, people of color are living it, you know, in a way that that doesn't require some white woman to tell them, but white people do. And so when I'm invited to talk to those groups of white people, I have very, for the most part, really good receptions. Sometimes, for example, when I've been, I'm trying to remember her name. She used to be on Fox, and then Trump said something bad to her. And anyway, I can't remember her name, but she had sent in some journalists to videotape while I was presenting at the white privilege conference. And so I got
Wait. There's a white privilege conference?
It's been around 20 years. Eddie Moore Jr. is the founder. Oh, you have to be there, Felicia.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Oh,
okay. Yep. All right, go ahead. The white privilege conference.
White privilege conference. So I'm presenting some of this history as a keynote speaker, and they illegally filmed it. And then I saw myself on Fox News. I actually didn't see myself. I heard myself as they were playing.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so I got boatloads of hate mail. And so I get, you know, death threats on occasion, definitely hate mail. But for most of the white people for whom I am brought in to speak to their company, to their agency, their non-for-profit, their university, their school, I have very positive responses from white people. But when I try to talk to white people who are my friends, that's a different deal. Or family, right? Uncle Joe, you know, everybody has an Uncle Joe. And so that's very different. Why? Because they don't have a boss who brought me in, who kind of forces them to actually learn the damn history, right? People who are my friends or my family expect me to be able to have a, you know, just a conversation of a soundbite that's going to radically teach them everything they need to know. And it doesn't work that way. I can't give you a damn soundbite that's going to help you know this history, right? We have to sit and go through it.
Yeah.
And so for me, those are the most frustrating. So I find for me, for those who are my friends who absolutely don't get this, who are white, and who are relatives who do not get this and who are white, you know, the all lives matter folks.
Yes.
So I'm talking, so I find that the best way, the more success I've had with that group is to just, when they see me, especially in public settings, and I get to see and I'm also around my friends who are of African descent, indigenous, Latinx, etc., then my family and my friends see that I have much deeper relationships with people who aren't white than they do, right? So that's in those ways I am most able to influence them. But, you know, people who don't want to sit and actually learn enough to change, there's not a lot that can be done.
Has there any, you know, because there's one thing to like hear it and to sometimes to hear it is really painful. You know, I know it is for me when I you know, have to hear the facts about what has happened. I mean, definitely living in it, you know, but hearing it, you know, but in terms of action, is there anything that they do, or do they like contact you later and say how did they, you know, how did it move them to action? You know, like, you know this information, but it's moved you to action. So,
right.
You know,
well, I'm always telling people that there's nowhere not to start, right? Like it can feel overwhelming because whiteness it's everywhere in everything and in all of us, right? And so it can feel overwhelming, but that also means that there's nowhere not to start. So we all have spheres of influence, and we all just have our own selves, right? And so I encourage people to like pay attention to yourself. There's all kinds of things to do to help us grow away from white supremacy and toward a criticality of it. You know, read some history, read people of color. If you're white, especially get in an affinity group that's good critically. Get involved, start going to the White Privilege Conference and all these other, places where you're gonna get challenged and people aren't gonna take your white shit. They're gonna name it and say,
yes,
yeah, not here, no, and you're also gonna get love and you're gonna grow.